2-3, day 1 and 2, linear functions and slope. Your learning goal is still the same, that you'll be able to build functions that model relationships between quantities from existing functions. In this section, we're going to go over 5 types of equations of lines. The first one is point slope, and it's given that name because you'll usually be given a point, which will be x1 and y1, and you'll be given the slope, which is m. And for those that don't remember, to find slope, you do m equals the change in y, y2 minus y1, over the change in x, x2 minus x1. So if they give you 2 points, then you can use those 2 points to help you find the slope. So slope is m. Then you have slope intercept. Slope intercept means that they're going to give you the slope m, or you'll have to find it, and b is your y-intercept. And then sometimes they may write it like f of x and y is the same. So your y-intercept is b, and m is your slope. Then you have what we called a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are just in the form of y equals b. Remember, b is your y-intercept. And for those type of lines, your slope is 0. And then you have a vertical line, which is always in the form of x equals a. And they're just using a and b just as any number. In vertical lines, their slope is undefined. And then we have what is called general form. General form is in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0. That's the one that's least used a lot. But we do need to know it just in case they give it to us in general form. And usually in general form, we plot the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Remember, x-intercept is always x comma 0. Y-intercept is 0 comma y. And just to remind you about the different types of slopes in their lines, you have a positive slope. So if m comes out to be greater than 0, this is a positive slope. And it will be rising from left to right. We have the negative slope. And it will be falling from left to right. We have the 0 slope. Remember, 0 slopes are horizontal lines. And then we have the undefined slope. And this is a vertical line. So usually a 0 slope is when you have 0 in when you're subtracting, you have 0. And then for undefined slopes, that's usually when 0 is in the denominator after you subtract. Okay, looking at example 1, we're going to write each equation in point-slope form and then slope-intercept form. So point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So you need to learn that formula. Okay, we have our x1, we have our y1, and we have m. So we have everything we need. So you're just going to plug in the y1, which is -2, so that makes that +2, equals m. And then x minus your x1, which is 6. That is point-slope. Now, if they want us to go further to slope-intercept, then what you would have to do is distribute that -2/3, which is our slope. And I'm going to put it over 1 so you can distribute it. You're going to multiply straight across. That'll make that a plus 12/3. And 12/3 is 4. So you would subtract 2 from both sides. So actually you're doing 4 minus 2, which is 2. So this is your point slope. So that's point slope, and this is slope intercept. Excuse me. This is point slope, and that's slope intercept. Okay, B. We have 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. We have no slope, so we actually have to find the slope. So remember, you find the difference in your y's, -2 minus 6 over the difference in your x's, 3 minus a -3, which makes it plus. So you're going to have -8 over 6. Always reduce. Okay, so we have our m. Then what you need to do is pick a point to be your x1, y1. So I'm going to pick this one. So first I'm going to start off with point slope. Y minus 6 equals m. And then x minus your x1 will make it plus. I'm going to put it over 1 so I can distribute. That's minus 12/3. 12/3 is 4. So you're going to add 6 to both sides. So you got -4 plus 6 is 2. And if you want to get a common denominator, you can. And that's your slope intercepts. You have point slope, slope intercept. Okay, example 2, we're going to be graphing the linear function. They want us to give the slope and the y-intercept of each line. So for the first one, example 2a, it's already in slope-intercept form. So what you do first is you plot your y-intercept, which is 2. So I know my b or my y-intercept is 0, 2. I'm going to write it as y-intercept. And then my slope, which is m, is -3, or -3/1. So you're going to start at 0, 2. As this is negative, you're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1. draw your line. Okay, B looks a little strange because this is y equals 4. This is a horizontal line. So your slope is going to be 0, so you won't do any rising. And then your y-intercept will be 0, 4. And you're going to make a horizontal line, and that's your graph. For C, you have to make sure the variable is by itself. So I'm going to subtract 12. Then I'm going to divide by 3. X equals negative 4 is a vertical line. And your slope is going to be undefined. And your y-intercept, there is none, because it's not going to touch the y-axis. So you're going to go to negative 4, where x is negative 4, and you'll make a vertical line. And then the last one needs to be in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to move everything over except for my y. And be careful. And I'm going to divide everything by negative 5. So my equation is be y equals, now I'll have a positive 6/5 and minus 4. So my slope is 6 over 5, and my y-intercept is 0, negative 4. So 0, negative 4 is my starting point. So I'm going to rise 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and run 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll draw this line. Notice I'm putting arrows on the ends of all of my graphs. For our last example, for example 3, we're going to use intercepts to graph the equation. So we're going to find the x-intercepts, and we're going to find the y-intercept. Alright, to find the x-intercept, you're going to plug in 0 for y, and you're going to solve for x. For y-intercept, you're going to plug in 0 for x, and then you'll solve for y. So with my x-intercept, I'm going to get 6x minus 18 equals 0. 6x equals 18. Divide by 6, so x equals 3. So that ordered pair would be 3, 0. Then you go to your y-intercept, and you move the 18 over, and you divide by negative 9. And so that ordered pair is 0, negative 2. So those are the only 2 points we'll be plotting. 3, 0, and 0, negative 2. And you're done.